let's get started with our very first D&D stream. And remember, this is going to be essentially a test, because I don't know what I'm doing. And we set this up on the fly, or I set this up my side of it, very on the fly, and I have literally no idea how to play D&D, which is going to drive both Zdardis and DiceMom crazy specifically. So, which is usually like a fun goal for me, but today I feel now that you know, feet to the fire, I feel a little. I wish I'd prepared a little more, but timing. What are you gonna do? We'll get better every day. You guys are amazing. Thank you for making your home on Twitch, TheFlood Zone. Thank you for being here. Slaps, thank you again for that sub. I really appreciate it. And let's go talk to everyone. Can everyone just say hello and who they are, and then we'll go through it. Maybe Zdardis first, and then we'll move on.
Sure. I'm Zdardis. I'm DMing this game. It is a mystery / slight horror style. Should be lasting us just a few sessions, and I'm really excited to get all these newbies going on D&D stuff.
Beauty. Can we do a witch pope? I'm also adjusting your volumes using this as a sound test.
Sure. I'm OriginalDiceMom, aka Michelle, aka Witch Pope. I will be playing Jane Appleblossom, a divination wizard halfling who is quite naive but very intelligent, and she's just she wants to know stuff. I may not have as many sets of dice as Zdardis does, but I do have a lot. Therefore, I am OriginalDiceMom.
Beautiful. The cupcake.
Hi, I'm Undead Cupcake. I go by Cuppy. I'll be playing Jatoria, which is a fawn who is very free-spirited but can get stabby when needed.
Very stabby. Okay. Yeah. And Zedicus.
Yes, last moderator for TheFlood Zone. Yeah, no, I will be playing Braun Flowercrown. What is he? He is a Furbolg barbarian who's been living in the woods for a little bit, and he's coming back into society for the first time, trying to get his feet wet and see what's going on with everything.
Beautiful. All right, boys and girls, did everyone come through loud and clear in the chat? Can you all give me a kind of some assessment? Was that more or less about right? Do you guys think? It looked okay on my meter, so I feel like we're going to be all right. Not bad.
But who are you playing?
Who am I playing? Let's go find out. Where's my character sheet?
Oh God.
I'm so good at this. My name is Ron Oldbuck, a halfling gunslinger, addicted to gambling. Probably wears an eye patch sometimes. I didn't tell them that. For no reason. Just pops it in different eyes now and again. Or his name is Ran Oldbuck. Whichever. Don't worry about that. It's neither here nor there. We're off to a great start. It's going to be great. No, he's just got the 2 eyes, but he's probably going to switch it around sometimes. Like he's just wearing it for show to look tough. Anyway.
We made sure to clarify he only had 2 eyes.
Yes, that was important.
Right. Only 2.
The character sheet actually says that. That was important. That was
seems
important.
Suspicious.
Why do you have to make it about...
You're emphasizing the fact that Ran only has 2 eyes, and that makes me think that he doesn't have only 2 eyes.
He only has 2 eyes for now.
I mean, one of them's
Gotcha.
frequently covered by a eye patch, You guys are making this weird, and it's just a cool little halfling man with an eye patch. I don't know why you gotta be also so suspicious.
You never know, man.
Well, I guess we'll let Zdardis take us away. Our very first D&D game. I'm excited. And by the way, this was my first D&D game. I think it's Cuppy's first and Zedicus's first, right?
Yes.
It is.
Nice. That DiceMom's the only one who knows what she's doing. Well, and Zdardis
has decided to take on a 4th concurrent D&D game with this, so...
Oh my.
DiceMom is an absolute savage. I'm scared of her.
All right. So, let's begin. You've all come to the city of Strago to come see the famous bard Lashara perform. You spent the day in the city, finding lodging, mingling with the crowds that have arrived in this city, and evening has come. You make your way through the woods, the path dimly lit by small floating magical lights. Outside of the outdoor amphitheater is a series of tents with merchants and things. And as you make your way, you can tell that the amphitheater is quickly filling up. You should probably find your seats.
I'd like to grab a seat at the back of the arena because of my size. So we
Okay.
hiding from most people and considerate.
So kind of make your way around the side over here, and just as you come down the stairs, you peer around, and it's pretty full. Almost all the benches are taken, but you do manage to squeeze by a few people here and take a seat kind of under this tree here.
Well, I imagine Jane is probably taking a look at all of the different merchants, seeing what kind of trinkets they have to sell, seeing if any of them have any like old rare books. Does she see anything like that at any of the tables?
Go ahead and make a perception check as you walk by all of these tents.
Well, that there's only going to be an 11.
As far as rare books and items, not particularly. Seems to be some fashionable clothing. One of them has some little toys and gadgets, but nothing that piques Jane's intellectual interests.
Okay. She's gonna be a little disappointed, and then she'll go and find a seat, probably like in the front, off to one of the sides. She doesn't want to sit near the forefront.
Sure. So you head around this way and come down the stairs. It's a bit hard to see through the crowds as a halfling. You're kind of peering around, trying to find a spot, and it's really full. And the closest thing you can find to being in the front is right around here.
Yeah, this'll do fine. This'll be great.
Ran, what would you like to do?
Ran would like to force his way through as many tall people as he possibly can to buck his way to the dead center stage, right at the front, as eagerly as he can, because he's so excited for this concert.
Like over here?
Like just dead center as much as possible. He'd practically be climbing on the stage if he could.
Okay. So there's a bit of a wall here at the edge of the seats. So you kind of come down to the front and realize there's a bit of a wall there. There's no seating in front of the stage. It's more of the performance area. And all of these seats front and center right here are taken.
Can I try to ask someone for their seat?
Sure. You kind of come up here.
Can you make some room? Make some room.
And kind of looks up at you, very confused. What do you mean? I was here first.
You can fit me. Just make a little room. You'll be fine.
What?
Squeeze me in there.
Make a persuasion check for me. So roll a d20 and add your persuasion modifier.
Persuasion. I'm just gonna click the button. Boom. 20 plus 2. 22. I'm really good at rolling dice.
Of course you rolled a natural 20 on that.
My first roll in D&D, boys and girls. A natural 20. Let's go.
He turns to the two other people sitting on the bench and is like, guys, we can make room for him, right? They kind of look at their friend like really confused and all shuffle in. So you're up here shoulder to shoulder with like three other guys in this little tiny 10-foot bench.
Just ignoring him. So just thank you guys. Thank you. And then I'm just focused on the stage, just waiting. I'm excited.
And Jatoria or Jet, what would you like to do?
I feel like I would walk around the tree and start seeing all the lights and all the people and get really excited. And look more so for someone interesting to sit next to or stand by in the concert rather than my view of the stage.
Ooh, okay. So you kind of come up here front and center and start looking around for anybody that would be particularly interesting. Go ahead and make a perception check. So roll a d20 and add your perception modifier.
18.
It's pretty good. You're not particularly short. You're pretty tall. So it's a bit easy to see over this crowd, most of whom are sitting down. And all the way over here on the far left side that I've just pinged, you spot a Goliath man that is just towering over everybody. He's sitting down, but he's still just like his head sticks above the crowd, and his head is shaved and tattooed, much like like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy kind of style. But he's way over there.
We just got DMCA by Disney. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, I would very much like to go over there. Yes.
All right, so you make your way around and come down the stairs to him. Kind of looks you up and down because you're a bit odd looking for most of the people that are here. Can I help you?
Yes, you are gorgeous, and I would like to stand by you during this concert, and hopefully we can be friends.
I love it. Eyes you up and down for a moment. All right. I think we can make that work.
Damn.
Yes.
We made friends already.
So I told Cuppy no thirsty bards. She went straight for thirsty fighter. Got it.
I'm not thirsty. I can admire beauty, okay?
Okay.
Look, Juan, just because you think a large tattooed bald-headed man isn't good looking, that's on you.
Yeah, stop projecting, Flood.
You're not projecting the fact that I think he's unattractive?
No.
I'm confused.
You're projecting your thirst for this fictional man onto Cuppy, and it's not fair.
Oh, I'd slap Drax's ass in a hot second. You're right.
I mean, who wouldn't? But let's continue.
All right, continue. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is exactly what I expected from this group. You wait a bit, talking to these people that are around you, getting to know the local culture. After a while, a booming voice echoes throughout, and as you turn your head to the stage, you can see a tall elven man standing there, in long flowing robes, that would probably denote him as somebody higher up within this town that you're visiting. Welcome, everybody. I'm Somare Ravaren, the town master. I see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of you from faraway lands. I'm glad you're here. Enjoy your stay, and thank you for lending us your time. And the crowd claps, and eventually the bard comes out. She has long black hair, is wearing a beautifully embroidered outfit, and begins to sing. And it's extremely captivating. Her voice almost soars through the auditorium out into the woods beyond. And the concert lasts probably about an hour. It's not extremely long. And you enjoy your time here. Concert comes to an end. The fairy lights floating around begin to dim. What would you like to do?
Jane's probably gonna take a book out of her backpack and just kind of like read it while she waits for the crowd to dissipate a little bit more so she can get out of there easier.
Rand's gonna go looking for a backstage access. How do I where does he think he's trying to figure out where she's gonna come out from the backside of the stage? You know what I mean?
So at the top of the map, right? Oh my god.
Wow,
at the top
you've
of
never
the map,
wanted
you
an
can
autograph
see
in your life? I'm sorry.
There's a large stone archway at the back of the stage, which a couple has a couple entrances behind that she's exited out through.
I'm gonna try to work my way towards that.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that.
All right.
Braun and Jet, what are you guys doing?
I thank my Goliath friend for hanging out with me and exchanging knitting tips with me. It was really helpful. And I start looking around for another interesting person to attach myself to.
All right, we're gonna come back to that as well because I know exactly what's gonna happen. Braun, what about you?
I am going to slowly make my way back towards the tents, out of the seating, once most of the crowds have departed. Still avoiding most people, not getting too intermingled with anybody yet. And just hanging out back there, watching, seeing what's going on.
Okay. So Jet, the crowd begins to thin out. You're kind of up here at the front looking around the auditorium to see who's around. That might be interesting. You spot three kind of odd characters. There's a halfling sitting at a bench reading a book, even though the concert's over. She's just kind of sitting there. you see a really tall furbolg kind of following up the back of the crowds that are leaving. And you see a small halfling with a revolver sneaking around the back here, trying not to be noticed.
Pew pew.
I would like to approach the person reading.
Okay. So you begin to make your way over here towards who you will eventually know as Jane. Ran. I'm gonna put you all the way at the top of the map over here.
Mm-hmm. Working my way.
Can you? Are you trying to be sneaky?
No. I'm just trying to find the spot where she would come out after the performance so I can go try to meet her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you make your way around the back there, and you can see she's behind the stage walls, talking with like a group of people.
I'm going to work my way towards that group.
Okay, you make your way over there. I'm just gonna put you on the stage for now,
Nice.
but you're behind it for all intents and purposes.
Oh, sorry.
Wherever you are.
You get me.
Okay. So we got Jet and Jane, like that. J&J over there. Okay. Braun's making his way out to the tents. And as you begin to pass this tent, Braun, the merchant calls out to you. You, big man, you have a second to browse my wares.
I turn my head and look over at him, looking at his wares cautiously, not entirely sold on giving him my full attention, but I will entertain his words.
All right. You head into that tent. Ran, there's a group of about 10 to 15 people in the back all around Lishara the Bard hanging out back there.
I'm going to push my way in between them and just, Lishara! Trying to get her attention.
Can you
I know I'm short, but...
Can you just make an athletics check for me as you try to push through all of these people as
Absolutely.
a 3-foot tall halfling?
Where's athletics on here?
Time to bite some ankles.
It's one of the skill checks in the middle.
Skill checks in the middle. Oh, athletics. Got it. All right. Boop. Oh. I got an 8. Not so hot.
So you start trying to like push through these people's legs and push them out of the way, and one just kind of gives you a shove, like with the side of their leg and pushes you back. But you continue shouting, Lishara from the back, and eventually she pushes her way to you, kind of just walks to the crowd. She doesn't have to push them out of the way. Kneels down in front of you. Aren't you just adorable?
Of course. Ran Oldbuck blushes slightly, straightens his mustache, and says, "Wow, stumbling. Thank you. You were amazing tonight."
Oh, that's so sweet of you. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to tell you that your music means the world to me, and I wanted to say hello, and maybe ask if you wanted to go for a drink sometime.
Really shooting his shot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ran's a gambler, baby.
100%. You know, I'm pretty busy usually. I'm gonna have to turn you down on that, but I do appreciate the compliment so much.
I understand. I still think you're amazing.
Thank you. And she stands back up and continues talking to the crowd. Jet, you walk up to this small halfling sitting on the bench reading a book.
I approach her slowly, kind of bending over and waving far away from her, not to get too close to scare her. Hoping she notices me.
Oh, she is so engrossed in her book. There's no possible way she's going to notice you unless you startle her.
Okay. So I'm going to get a little bit closer and lean in really close to the tippy top of your book and wait for you to look at me.
All right, so Jane is just like finishing up the page on the left, and she like her eyes suddenly move up to the top part of the right page, and she notices you sitting there, and she closes her book really quickly and kind of like falls back off of the bench and like, oh my gosh, am I not supposed to be here? I'm sorry. Was I supposed to leave already?
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to scare you. I'm gonna offer my hand to help you get up.
Jane is just gonna kind of compose herself a little bit, and she'll grab your hand.
I just thought you looked very interesting, and I just had to come meet you.
Oh, I can assure you, I'm not interesting at all.
I mean, you decided to read a book right after a really great concert, and I just have to know what you're reading.
I mean, it's just some old history book that I picked up on the way here. It's nothing. I mean, it's really interesting. A really interesting book definitely complements a really interesting show for sure.
I like that.
It's like
Hi.
finding the perfect jam to your sandwich.
Can I sit with you?
Sure. And she's gonna kind of look around and see if there's still people nearby, and she's like, but I think we're probably supposed to be leaving here soon. I was just waiting for like the crowd to dissipate a little more.
I think we're fine. We have time before everyone else leaves. I'm Jatoria. It's nice to meet you.
I'm Jane. It's nice to meet you too.
Well, she's so nervous. I love it. Okay, so Braun in this tent, there's racks on racks and shelves on shelves of different articles of clothing, all different styles and colors and sizes as you begin to peer through. You actually looking for anything?
Ron pauses for a second, and then he laughs. Clothing? For these arms? Haha. I'm kidding. And then he begins to turn around and walk away from the clothes.
Okay. I love it.
Ron's a beast.
Ran, what are you doing? You've now been shot down. You shot your shot.
I'm gonna make my way out of the place, slightly dejected but elated for having met her at all.
Okay, you make your way back around and you spot two odd people just still sitting there.
I'll glance at them curiously as I walk by. Rand shot his shot with the woman he was here for.
That was the whole reason he actually came to the concert, just to hit on her.
I'm a huge fan, and her music means a lot to me, and I was hoping
He paid
maybe
the
we could...
fee to see her, like the ticket, and was just like, okay, this has got to get me in.
Yeah, she's my favorite. It was a great concert.
I love it. And you two sitting on the bench see this halfling kind of oddly dressed with an eye patch, apparently, walking past you.
Wait, did we determine if the human-sized cowboy hat was actually canon in this, or?
No cowboy hat, no hat.
Damn it!
But an eye patch.
Eye patch. I didn't get a chance to tell you that I took it off during the concert because I was so elated, but I put it back on afterwards.
So he begins to walk past you. Do you say anything to him? Or do you say anything to them?
No, I'm working my way out. I'm on cloud 9. I'm busy. I'm excited. I'm in my own head thinking about my little interaction.
Jane is trying incredibly hard to seem interesting, even though she's definitely not.
I'm very interested in Jane.
Maybe out of the side of I glance over and just be like, get a room, you two already. Jesus.
Jane's whole face turns full red, and she has like this, she's wearing this like cloak with a hood, like this dusty gray cloak, and she just pulls her hood up over her and like pulls her bag up to her chest, and it's just like, you don't have to be so rude.
Rand chuckles and continues walking. sauntering away happily.
And it's about this time, Rand's just starting to head up the stairs, and just as your kind of line of sight, your little halfling 3-foot tall self starts to come up the stairs, you can see this large Firbolg coming right out of this tent here, laughing about his large muscles and how clothes are silly. Yeah, I mean, if you don't...
I note the large Firbolg and continue on my way, I suppose.
And it's about this time as well that the fairy lights begin to dim in the amphitheater. And it's starting to get dark. It's hard to see your book. It's hard to see anything for all of you.
Well, that's not an issue for Jane. She's just going to cast light on her cloak, so now she's basically a beacon. And she can then continue reading her book and also interacting with Jatora.
Interacting.
Rude.
All right, so Ran and Braun heading back to town. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you guys
I'll
like
follow
to
the
do?
little man back to town.
Oh, okay. So you just kind of hanging out behind him, following him.
Creepy.
Around. And it's not hard to like notice him behind you. He's not a small guy.
Yeah.
But there's this large muscular Firbolg just following you down this path back to town in the dark.
I'm gonna keep my eyes on him every now and again, with quick glances over the shoulder as I continue on. But I am still pretty enamored with my whole interaction earlier, so I'm still just gonna keep heading back to town, thinking about finding a card game I can join and grabbing an ale and going to bed. It's a long journey.
Yeah, heading to the tavern. Excellent. So you make your way down the path to the tavern and enter. You following him in, Braun?
Yes.
Okay. Big man. So
Big man, few words.
Before we get there, he has been following you for like a solid 15 minutes from this amphitheater out in the woods to this tavern. The whole time, like 15 feet behind you.
But the tavern's right in front of me and it's illuminated. It's like I can see the tavern.
It's kind of like before we get there. I want to make sure that you're okay with him following you the whole way through the woods.
Well, like I'm assuming there's a path back and forth between an amphitheater and a tavern. Like how far away would it be? You know what I mean? Like, and there was a bunch of people there,
it's
so there's
empty.
probably some people around. No.
There's once you get into the city, but from the woods, you with your whole adventure going backstage and everything like that, it cleared out pretty quickly.
Nah, I'm just gonna keep going.
All right, cool. You head into the tavern. There's definitely some gambling happening. There's some tables with some people at them, and we'll come back to you guys. Jane and Jet, what are you guys doing in the amphitheater?
I ask Jane, do you like to drink liquids?
Jane is like she's like half reading her book, like glancing over it, but also paying attention to you as much as she can, and like she just kind of closes the book and puts it in her bag, and she's like, "I'm hungry. Are you hungry?"
I do like to consume food, yes. Often.
Okay, so Jane's just gonna like hop off of her little bench and she's gonna start making her way up the stairs.
Making her way.
Yeah, making her way. And she's just gonna start heading towards the town herself.
Okay, so you two start to head towards the local tavern for
Consumption
solids
of
and liquids to consume.
Yeah.
In that order, depending on which you're consuming.
Yeah, exactly.
Understood.
I can't.
Just wanted to be sure.
Okay. Ran.
Mm-hmm.
Do some gambling.
I wanna head up to the bar, grab a drink.
Okay.
From the bartender, and I want to find whatever games seem to be going on in the bar. I want to jump in there.
Wait, is
Say
Brand
hello.
just a retiree from Florida? Hitting on young women and gambling in bars.
Sorry, he's a music lover who enjoys games. That was...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I heard no difference.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
it's the same. You must
So you
really
grab
like
your
Jimmy
ale.
Buffett.
You reach up on the bar, grab your ale, and go find. There's people playing cards, some people playing dice. What do you want to play?
Cards. And I'm going to see if I
Head over
can
to
go in and say, what are you playing? Can I get in on this?
Yeah, take a seat. They're playing what would be like Dungeons and Dragons style blackjack, essentially.
Perfect.
And they're
Dragon
sitting there
Jack.
playing. And so we're gonna come to you in just a second to see what kind of earnings you make or what you lose.
Rand never loses.
Brand never dies either.
Never dies.
Braun, what are you doing in this tavern? You are drawing some attention as this extremely large, muscular, shirtless man.
Braun slowly walks into the tavern, takes a look around, and then you know, with his size, he takes a seat on an empty table that clears out quickly for him against one of the walls, signaling to the barkeep that he would like a drink. He sits there in the corner, silently.
Okay.
Rand notices the big
You're
man who was
brought-
following him and elbows the guys. Look at that creeper. He was walking behind me the whole way. To the group he's playing with. Sorry.
Kind of draw some draw some laughs from the people at the table. Some are kind of like eyeing the big guy in the back. A bit odd. And he just kind of came in and sat down at a table. Everybody cleared out. And Braun, when you sit down at this table, the wood kind of creaks underneath you just a hair on the chair that you sit in. So
Does
Rand-
all the music stop when it happens too? Like all the music stops. Creak.
only when the chair breaks.
Sorry. Okay.
Ran, can I have you roll a D100 for me?
Do I have that on the button, or no? I just do it this way.
No, well, you can do it on there, or you can do it with your physical dice. I think in the bottom left, there's a dice button you can click.
Ooh, digital dice.
Loser.
I love it. D100. To everyone roll? Wait, what? Self. Ooh. 48. That doesn't seem good.
It's not bad. You managed to make 7 gold off of the first hand.
Let's go! Rand Old Buck never loses. Pew pew!
Go
I
ahead,
shift
roll
my
again.
eye patch to the other side.
Everybody at the table kind of looks at you like really confused.
I just stare them all down with my one eye.
Go ahead and roll again.
All right. D100. Roll. 90.
On this one, you managed to make 12 gold. You are playing the table.
Ran always wins. Pew pew! Pistolas in the sky.
All right.
No, I'm not actually shooting my pistolas.
Okay.
Finger guns. Finger guns.
I was like, are you doing that? 'Cause-
No. Rand's just doing his finger guns. Pistol's still in the
Okay.
holster. We're chilling.
Do it one more time for me.
All right. Are you secretly making this harder on me or something? I'm scared.
Nope.
65.
On this one, you win the pot yet again. But just as you're going to reach for the gold in the middle of the table, one of the other players slams his hands down on the table. And we're going to come back.
What's the big idea?
Jatoria and Jane, you have arrived at the tavern. You're just outside the building.
I'm gonna look up at the building, and I'm gonna look for the tavern sign and just kind of shrug my shoulders and say, "This seems like a good enough place. You in?" And she's gonna turn over to Jatoria and like,
Yes, please.
she's gonna go and like try to pull on the handle, but it's definitely gonna be very heavy for her. So she's struggling, obviously, to open this
Yeah.
door.
So you go to pull on the handle, the door doesn't even move.
She's making grunting noises. She's just like, "Ugh. Oh Oh man, this is a heavy door. What did they make this out of? And she's just gonna like start running her hand over the door's wood to try and determine what type of wood made this door.
Make a nature check to determine what kind of wood the door is.
All right, that's going to be a 14.
It's oak, and as you're kind of looking at the door, you do see it was hard to see from the previous angle because of your height. Just above the handle, it says push.
And then she's just gonna push the door. She's gonna push the door open now.
The door pushes open quite easily now.
Ooh, taverny.
So Braun's taking his seat kind of in this back corner against the wall. Ran is gambling, we'll say at this long table. You and Jatoria have just walked in.
I'm sorry, I love how even on your map it is a push door. There's no way I could have even known that. That was perfect.
So you guys head in. There's no posted menu per se, but you can take a seat wherever you like. Some of the tables have some people. There's definitely some open space as well.
Jane is just gonna look for the first open table that she can find and try and climb up into the chair.
Okay. So this table right here is actually pretty empty. These people have just gotten up and they're starting to walk out past you. Jatoria, are you following?
Yes. I'm actually going to pull over a second chair because my hooves are really tired and I'm going to sit on two at once.
Yeah, there you go. So you got your little chair and a stool there for your hooves.
Nice.
And you guys, anything to drink? Anything to eat? Somebody comes around to help you.
Yeah, so I'm kind of working with a budget here, but I have things that I can also trade, like information. What is the pricing like here for just kind of something simple? What kind of food do you have?
Various meats and vegetables. Nothing too special here. If you're looking for something more pricey, it's down the street, but it sounds like you probably are not. Can just do some quail and carrots if you like.
About how much will that run me?
Oh, just a couple silver.
Oh, yeah, in that case, sure, let's go.
Anything for... They kind of pause for a moment. You? As they look over at Jet.
I have never eaten in a place like this before, so I will actually take exactly what she is going to eat. But bring me two.
Fair enough. So your drinks are brought, and your food is being made, and just as you sit down, you hear a slam at the table behind you, Jet. The man looks across the table at Ran Old Buck.
Mm-hmm.
Ran Old Buck.
Who's yelling, "What's the big idea?" and putting his hand on his holster
what's the
for his
deal with
revolver. What's the big idea? One hand.
There's no way you won that easy. What's with the eye patch?
Rests my good eye.
You're not taking all that gold with you.
I want it fair and square. How about you back off?
And at that point, he flips the table in front of you. All the gold and drinks that are on the table and cards fall onto the ground.
What the heck are you doing, you son of a gun? And I pull out my
said you're
pistol.
Not taking that with you.
I'm pulling out my revolver.
So, I need everybody
And
to
I'm
roll
glaring.
initiative for me.
That's a 20.
20 for Braun, nice.
I got a 16.
I also got a 16.
15.
I rolled an 18. Oh, and then plus the 2, I guess, so 20.
Yep. I did not roll good. Oh, that's big.
Very large. This guy's trying to steal my gold. I'm gonna shoot him in the kneecaps. Pew, pew.
Okay. So, obviously, Ran and this person in front of him are getting into it, and you guys can see this. You know, you don't have to step in. I just have you in combat order, so you get your turn to react or interact or however you want. Braun. So as soon as this table flip, Braun, you are quick to react. What are you doing?
As soon as the table flips, my head comes up from my food, seeing who is causing all of this commotion. I notice Ran Old Buck with his hand on his pistol, drawing it out. And I take a look at him. And I chuckle. Little man. Big fight. And I sit back and watch. Waiting to see what happens.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
Who
Jane
you
and
calling
Jet, you
little?
guys actually rolled the same. So you guys kind of have a shared turn here, which is appropriate since you're at the same table here. Jane, I'll take you first. What would you like to do?
Jane is in full panic mode. She's going to Misty Step to like the furthest point in the tavern away from this location.
So you just 30 feet away. 2, 3, 4,
Yep.
5, 6. You just all the way over here into the corner by the stairs.
Correct.
Just get the fuck out of there.
I am small.
But-
I am squishy. I want to be away from this mess.
All right, cool. So that's action, bonus action. Anything else?
No
Well, you can
halfling
move too if
solidarity.
you want to run even further.
Yeah. Can I run up to like that second landing of the tavern?
Like on the stairs, or you want to go
Yeah.
upstairs?
No, I'll just sit on the stairs. I'm gonna sit at like the top of the stairs, kind of poking my head through the
Okay.
through the railing,
Sure.
but not actually poking my head through to where I might get stuck.
Okay.
And stuck in the railing.
Look, I have to be specific
What is this
sometimes
railing?
because
What kind
I
of
feel
wood
like
is this railing?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's what we heard.
Run your hand along the wood
Yeah.
again, Dice Mom.
Look, Jane Apple Blossom is a sweet, tender, innocent babe who just wants to learn things and is interested in finding out the intricacies of the world.
Understood.
I love it. I love it. Jet.
I'm gonna turn to look at them and be like, hey, you guys are being rude. You scared my brand new friend. Let's just calm down.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
I got a 19.
Let's
Nice.
go.
Oh boy.
Rand might get to
So-
holster his pistolas.
Because you're a player, Ran, I don't let other players like persuade you or intimidate you into doing things in that manner. But this person that you're fighting, he kind of like takes a breath for a second and looks at Jet and looks at Jane, who is just like bamfed away onto the stairs and run away. Realizes that he's kind of scaring the other people that are in this tavern. I'm sorry. And it's your turn, Ran.
I'm gonna glance, of course, at Jed and her interjection, and then back at this fella and said, "I think you should listen to the lady," and then start gathering my gold as he's backing off.
Yeah. So he kind of backs off, and then runs out of the tavern, realizing what a scene he's made here.
Coward.
And that's that's the whole combat there. We have avoided our first combat. Well, way to go.
Yay.
Good job, Jet.
Go Jet.
So
go
convincing.
Jet.
Jet
But
made
now,
peace.
but now Ran has to pay for our meals.
You can
Ran
tell Ran that.
might,
He's
out of his
picking
own
up his gold.
benevolence, maybe will. We'll see. Ran will
You
actually
guys-
buy
you
a
guys are
round
here.
for the tavern. The whole tavern. Just allowed one round on me, and then pay the bartender the appropriate gold.
Okay. We'll get to full costs of the evening.
Yeah, I forget that y'all aren't as poor as I am.
Well, your boy just made money
Well,
at
you
the
just
card
won a
table.
bunch. You
Yeah,
just won a
Yeah.
bunch. of
Yeah, he
gold.
won more than I currently have total on my person.
I already forget how much I won, but that's okay.
All right, so you guys are in this tavern for the time being. The scene seems to have been resolved. Table still on its side. Everybody else that was at the table has moved on to either sit at the bar or sit somewhere else in the tavern. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to saunter over to Jet and say thank you for calming down that feller, and if I can pay for your whatever, you and your halfling friend, I'll give him a gold or something, whatever it would be.
Okay. Is Jane at the table or is she still hiding?
Jane is slowly making her way back to the table, but she's being even more cautious because she sees Ran over there now with you.
Okay.
I'm a scary looking character.
You have an eye patch. That's intimidating.
And a mustache. You better look out.
Yeah.
Andy's 3.5 feet tall. Can't forget
And
that.
piercing green eyes.
Piercing green eyes.
Oh God, not the piercing green eyes.
Eventually, Jane will hop back up on her seat.
Ron is still just watching from the side of the room, chuckling at the whole situation, impressed with how the little fawn handled it all.
So, spend the evening talking, drinking. Nobody's really gambling anymore after the scene that's been caused.
Ran is upset by this.
Rightfully so. And the evening's starting to come to a close. You're starting to feel a bit tired.
I'm going to head up to bed.
Okay.
Thank you all for a lovely evening. I'm making my way out if no one's going to play cards with me.
I would.
Whatever you want. I mean, there's definitely a big man sitting in the corner if that's what you're thinking.
I would
Yeah.
very much like to talk to the big man. But I'm not just going to abandon Jane.
Okay, so how do you want to do that?
I'm going to ask Jane how much longer she's going to stay awake. Is she going to stay in the tavern or is she going back to her room?
I mean, I just got to town for the concert. I haven't actually arranged a sleeping quarter while I've been here. I guess I should probably do that. I'm gonna go talk to the barkeep and see if there's any rooms available here, what the situation is. I'll be back though. I'm not really tired. I'll probably, stay up and read a little bit longer.
Okay.
And Jane heads over to the barkeep and the tavern owner. The rooms are upstairs. Yeah, I believe we have 2 rooms that are still available this evening.
And what would the cost be to stay in a room for the night?
Just for the evening? For these 2 rooms, depends. You need 1 bed or 2?
She's just gonna shout across the bar over to Jet and be like, "Hey, are you staying here also? We could share a room. It would be cheaper. I
I'm
can
down.
get one with 2 beds."
Yes, that's great.
She's gonna look back up at the barkeep and say, "A room with 2 beds, please."
Sure. It's just 1 silver for the evening.
Oh, perfect. And she's gonna dig around in her bag and find a silver, and she's gonna sit it up on the bar.
Perfect. And back to you, Jet.
I am going to stare at Braun and see if he looks at me.
I love your method of interacting with people and like trying to introduce yourself is just staring at them.
It's just Cuppy in real life, I think.
So, Braun, you see this purple fawn that you saw diffuse this bar fight just glaring at you, just staring at you from across the room, eyes wide open, just locked onto you, unblinking, just staring.
Ron cracks a smirk and nods, and then nods respectfully at her, remembering how she diffused the situation, and then motions her over to his table, using one of his legs to kick out a chair for her to come and sit down.
Aww. I'm going to excitedly wave at him as I get up and not run, but walk very quickly over to him.
So you
Yeah.
You clip clop.
Yeah.
You're there with Braun. And Jane kind of turns around after getting the room and sees both of you in the corner.
Yeah, Jane is gonna slowly make her way over to that table and just kind of like very timidly climb up into the empty seat and get her book out and just start reading.
As Jet comes and sits down, Braun nods at her and, smiles some more and says, "Nicely handled there, little fawn."
Thank you so much. I just thought that was really rude. That little tiny man said something rude to us in the concert too, so I knew he was trouble. This is my friend Jane. She likes books. What is your name?
Braun looks over, smiles at Jane, and nods, and then says, "I'm Braun. It's nice to meet you." Very pleasantly, little formally and wooded, because he's not used to being around people still. And then he looks over, you two were at the concert as well?
Oh yes, it was really great. I got to meet so many people.
Indeed, it was fun, he says, and then he looks over at Jane. And you? What did you think?
So Jane is kind of sitting in the chair. You know how like some children, like toddlers, when they're sitting in an adult-sized chair, will like sit with their feet, like their knees pressed up against them? She's just kind of got her book propped up against her knees, and she looks up when you address her, and she goes, "Oh, it was a really good performance. It was very interesting. Lots of technique. She was she's very well versed. She was using, some of my favorite operatics, and it was very good."
Ron laughs. "Haha, yes, she does sing good, doesn't she?"
Jane's just gonna nod and yeah, she does sing good. She sings good. She's just gonna go back to her book real quick.
She sing good. Yes.
Singer sing good.
So as you guys continue talking, Rand, you're upstairs in your room and you kind of lay in bed for the evening. And as the sleep begins to come to you, you make a wisdom saving throw for me.
What? Okay. Why are you scaring me? Wisdom saving throw. Boom.
Remember the whole mystery horror thing? Everything's been jolly up till now.
14.
Okay. Sleep comes to you.
Rand's even
doesn't
good at
feel
sleep.
right. But something doesn't feel right.
Wait, what? Rand's restless in his bed, trying to get to sleep, but keeps tossing and turning because something doesn't feel right.
And kind of feel a chill and a hand grab your shoulder.
What the heck is that?
You jolt awake and look around your room and see nothing. But you have a cold sweat.
I'm gonna freak out a little bit, dab my face with the covers of the sheets, and kind of gather myself hastily and go back down to the tavern, kind of a little shook. Go hit the bar and order an ale immediately.
And at this point, it's starting to empty out. It's starting to get pretty late. Most people have either gone home or gone to their rooms. And you see these three in the corner sitting down there.
I'm gonna stay at the bar and drink my drink. I'm shaking. I'm shooketh. I'm shaking, kind of jittery. Just drinking my beer, my ale.
And Braun,
Yes.
with the highest passive perception at the table, you do see Rand come back down. Kind of roll an insight check for me. Let's see if you can read him.
No one reads Rand, old buck. Rand, old buck reads you.
Be a 10.
Okay, so you don't get a lot of information, but he's coming downstairs pretty quickly and kind of hastily runs over to the bar.
Flushed.
Braun looks up and yells, "Little man, back for more fun?" noticing he couldn't stay away.
Rand immediately jumps like as high as he possibly can in his chair because he's startled by the noise because he's still shaken from the random event upstairs and his nerves are on edge and he just makes faces at him and then just turns back to his beer and keeps drinking and orders another immediately.
No, come, pull up a chair, he yells again.
Rand looks around, realizing there's a lot of other options, and goes and sits down.
While this has been happening, Jane is probably slowly falling asleep into her book.
You guys ever slept here before? You guys ever stayed here before?
Zdardis, you're muted.
Huh. I didn't have anything to say. You guys were talking.
Oh, I thought I saw your mouth. Okay.
He was smoking.
My lips were moving, but it wasn't.
It was vapor.
Oh.
He was being a vapor person.
Oh my god. Ooh, vapor person. Next monster. Got it.
Ron answers Rand's question. No, never been here before. New to town. Why?
It's got a weird energy here. It just feels a little, no reason. Nothing. Everything's fine.
Oh,
Do you guys need a drink? I'll get you a drink.
Jumpy?
Do you need a drink?
Says.
I'm going to order around for the table.
Okay.
And I'm going to tip the bartender.
Go ahead and
Aggressively.
take. Let's see. You bought a round for the bar. You bought a few yourself. Go ahead and just take 2 gold off for your drinks and lodging for the evening.
I never even added the previous gold, though, so I don't know how that works.
Okay, sure. Just add. I don't know, like 15. You want a little more than that, so.
Where do I go to that?
Inventory, and then click on currency in the top right.
You're my hero.
Yep. Ram buys you all a drink, and you're sitting there. None of
And
you
tip
have
the
ever
bartender
stayed here
really well.
before. Yeah, I mean, a gold's a lot.
I know.
Like, it's not.
Yeah, I'm ruining their economy. I understand. I've seen the TikToks.
Since Jane is falling asleep, I'm going to take Jane's drink as well. I earned it.
An opportunist. I like it.
I earned it.
If it's alcohol, Jane wasn't going to drink it anyways. So, and I'm presuming since Ran is the one who ordered it, then it was probably alcohol.
Ales for all.
All right. I'm gonna let you guys talk and get to know each other for a second. I'm gonna run to the little Flood's room.
Da 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 da. Grab a snack and grab a drink, everyone. Welcome to Floods and Dragons. Everyone's going pee.
Ran old bug never pees.
Randallbug never pees. That's right. And if he does, his aim is perfect. And back to the story.
Well, it's a shame because the person that would be able to read Ran the best and tell that something is going horribly wrong is falling asleep in her book.
So I'm going to look at Ran
I mean, Rand's not hiding anything.
and take a sip from each of these cups. And then say, so, you were so quick to fight earlier, but now you're jumpy. What's going on?
Nothing. Nothing's going on. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. There's nothing in my bedroom. Everything's okay. Who are you to ask? What's going on here?
What's in your
What?
bedroom?
Why the Inquisition? Nothing. All right, fine.
Well, it's
Fine,
okay.
fine. I was asleep. And then something grabbed me, and I don't know what it was. There was nothing there. It's probably in my head. It's probably in my head.
Was it a sleep grab or was it an awake grab?
Kind of like a sleep-y grab?
What?
I don't know. Dreams are crazy sometimes.
Ron reaches over with his very large hand and grabs Rand on the shoulder. Like this.
Rand stares at Bron and just says, "Get your hands off me, you big man."
Ron laughs and takes his hand back.
Rand just keeps glaring.
Those piercing eyes.
Piercing. I flip up one of my eye patch and glare at him with both eyes.
I can't unsee that portrait.
Ron
can't
just
unsee
laughs
it.
some more and lifts up his cup and takes a drink.
It's getting late. Jane is full face in book at this point, sniffing the pages.
Yeah, she's snoring a little.
Can I pick her up and take her upstairs?
You guys are going already? What about you, Big Ben? You still sticking around?
She's pretty darn small. You know, you're not the biggest, but you have a decent strength, so I'll say you could pick her up. She's not that big.
Okay. I'm gonna pick her up and then walk to the bar because I have no clue what room we're staying in.
So you kind of how are you carrying her? Are you like fireman shoulder carrying her, or do you like cradling her? Like I want the imagery of this.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of tossed her over my shoulder. But I am carrying her book very carefully with the other hand.
A sack of potatoes for her, careful for the book.
I feel like Jane would appreciate that.
She would.
The innkeeper informs you that the room your sleeping friend has rented is on the 3rd floor, and it's the second room on the left.
Okay. I'm gonna turn back to Ran and be like, what floor were you on? Are we also going to get touched in our sleep?
Oh my god.
She said excitedly? Question mark.
Don't like that.
When you come in here, no, I'm just kidding.
Ran, you would have also been on the 3rd floor, but a little bit further down the hall.
I'm down the hall from you, Q. I'm down the hall. I'll just...
Are you going up now, or are you gonna wait? Because we're going up.
I'm gonna stay with the big guy.
Okay. Good night, everyone. I'm
Or it's
gonna go
bright.
upstairs.
Okay. Braun and Ran are alone at the table. With Ran just eyeballing Braun.
So, staying here all night, or what's your plan?
But I could stay here. I have no room. No plans. Nowhere to go. Braun says, looking back.
So, stay in the well-lit tavern all night? Sounds like a plan.
If you're buying, Braun says.
Deal. Rand
so you guys are
ponies
just-
up and tells the bartender to just keep it going. We're just going to keep drinking all night.
Till the wee hours of the morning.
No, all night. Literally, not wee hours. The whole night.
Oh, okay.
Rand is not going back to sleep.
Okay. If that's what you want to do. So both of you, just go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me, since you're going to be drinking all night.
24.
Oh my god, you're huge.
I'm really good at rolling dice.
Jesus. So, 7.
Did I just drink the giant under the table? Let's
You
go!
sure
I
did.
think you just did.
sure did.
Let's go! No one outdrinks a Rand,
So
old
you're
buck.
Rand, you're just slightly buzzed, and you guys have been drinking for like hours at this point.
I mean, I have advantage
Braun-
against poison.
So it's different, but
Why?
I guess
Anyway,
you could make the argument that it applies, but you rolled a 24. You're fine.
goddamn right.
Braun, on the other hand, you are not feeling good.
Nope.
You are woozy and just about to throw up. Barely staying in your chair.
Rand, I'm assuming, is noticing this and wants to get him outside for the puking. You're like, "Hey, get out! Let's get out!
for
Get out the front door, big guy." I'm kind of like trying to lead him, but I'm tiny, of course. So I'm just trying to like drag him by the hand.
Braun staggers to his feet and then, being led very slowly, stumbles after Ran.
Just taking him out the front door to, you know,
Can you,
puke off to the corner. You know.
because you rolled so damn low on that
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw, and you are completely trash. I would love it if you made just a dexterity check with disadvantage. So
Okay.
roll 2d20s, take the lower of the two.
God damn it. I need to stop rolling on this thing. That's a dexterity check?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a 4.
Braun falls onto the ground, tripping over his own 2 feet, almost landing on you, Ran.
The giant thud beside Rand makes him jump
Yep.
and starts poking him. Get up, guy. Come on. Let's go. Gotta get you out of here.
You're conscious. You're just. Whew. We've all seen those videos before.
Yeah. Being drunk and determined, I try and go from laying face down to my hands and knees before attempting to stand up.
Okay. You stumble back to your feet and continue to be led outside by Ran, where you quickly, upon being in the clearing down here, empty
Get it up, big guy.
empty the contents of what is in your stomach.
I'd pat his back, but I can't reach.
Pat his thigh.
Yeah.
There you go, bud. Look, pat him on the hip. All right, get it out.
And it's dark outside. There are a few torches lining the streets. And Ran, for whatever reason, you kind of look up, and it almost looks like some of the shadows are starting to reach out to you.
I'm gonna grab Braun again and be like, all right, let's get back inside, big guy. Let's get back. Just tugging on his, like, trying to, like, frantically pull him like a child pulling their parent. You know, like, get in here. Let's go.
You yank him back inside, avoiding what you can swear was shadows reaching to grab you.
I'm nervous. I'm looking over my shoulders again. Going back to that half-drank ale and swinging it back again because I'm chilling.
We move these 2 upstairs.
Obviously getting Braun pushed back into his spot. Hopefully.
You still drinking, Braun?
No more drinks for Barad. He just sits there trying to compose himself, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand.
You did great, big guy. You did great.
Ugh.
You did great. Good job. Good job. Can we get this man a water? More water? Anyone?
You sure can. You get him some water, a
Does
warm towel.
Does D&D have coffee? Can we get him a coffee?
Yeah. I mean, there's like caffeinated beverages like teas and things like that for sure.
Strongest tea for this guy. Strongest. What do you got? Let's get it.
You get like a cup of black tea. It's pretty dark and pretty strong, almost like coffee.
All right, I'm gonna
For Braun.
stuff that in his face a little bit along the table and just try to get him to drink it. And sober him up a little, maybe.
Yeah, it might help a little bit. At least, if nothing, it has the placebo effect.
Ron downs the water and starts drinking the tea and smirks. "Thank you, little man," he says.
No problem, big guy. Patting him on the shoulder. And you notice anything outside? Or it's just a little. It's pretty dark, I guess. You see?
"Just the bushes," he laughs.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm just a little jumpy. It's nothing.
And you two spend the rest of the evening down there. The sun begins to come up. But before we go to the next day, Jane and Jatoria, as you begin to fall asleep in your beds, unless you want to talk to each other upstairs before.
I think Jane was pretty out of it. I just kind of plopped her down
Oh
on
yeah,
the bed.
she was like knocked out already. You're right. So you plop Jane down on her bed, place the book beside her, lay down in yours. Can both of you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Yeah, I'm using my one portent roll of a 14, so that's going to be 16 total. Oh
Wait,
no,
really?
Jet!
Wait, a saving throw or the like top
Saving throw. Saving throw.
Okay.
So that's that left box.
Okay, I got a 9.
Row.
Jane, for you, sleep comes easy. Everything seems okay. Jet. You fade from consciousness and begin to fall asleep. but it's a bit restless. And in your mind, you begin to hear whispers. And you wake up. Cold sweat. Not knowing what it was. What do you do?
I would like to go wake Jane up and tell her what just happened.
Okay. Jane, I would imagine Jet would gently awake you, not shake you awake. She'd probably kind of like poke you and be like, hey, hey.
Oh, hey, what? Wait, how did I get here?
You fell asleep in your book, and I carried you both up very carefully. I promise I did not bump your head into any walls.
She's just gonna like reach up and touch her head to like make sure she doesn't feel any bumps, and then, okay, thank you. Is everything all right?
No, I was asleep, and there were whispers and voices in my head that I did not understand. And you're the smartest person I know. So I'm telling you.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Huh. I mean, it was probably just a dream, right? Like you were sleeping, weren't you?
Yeah, but the whispers, they were saying the same thing over and over again, and it's something I've never heard before, and I don't know what it meant. I'm not that creative.
That sounds very interesting. I mean, nothing like, were you drinking before we came up here? Like, maybe it was just kind of because of the alcohol, or
Yeah, I
because I
was
didn't drink any
drinking.
alcohol, so maybe that's that's what it is.
Maybe. Okay. I'm sorry I woke you up.
It's not a problem. She's just gonna
Jane,
grab her book and like pull it close to her chest and like turn on her side.
I love it. You're going back to bed, Jet.
I think I'm gonna head downstairs.
Okay.
Jet gets it.
You see a very intoxicated Braun and a still trembling Rand downstairs.
Still drinking.
Still drinking and seeming to hold it well.
This halfling has the liver of steel.
He is a stout halfling.
Mhm.
True.
That's what I'm saying. I've got advantage against poison. I feel like that would count as booze, but whatever.
No, I could see the argument for that for sure. So
Noticing Jet coming down and being like, hey, can't sleep?
I'm gonna rush over to their table. And before I start talking, I look over at Braun and then look back at Ran and say, what did you do to him?
All I did was pay for the drinks. He did it to himself.
Okay. Are you okay, Braun?
He nods slowly, looking back over at her. Welcome back, he says. You know, a little drunk, a little slower than normal, but
A little.
he's still kind of there.
Drink your tea,
Okay.
Braun. Drink your tea.
I'm going to
Nudging it towards
take the drink out of Rand's hand and drink it.
Hey, what's
and then say, so I didn't get any mysterious hands on my shoulders, but someone was definitely whispering in my ear.
It happened to you too.
Put your hands on my shoulder.
They all look around for the mysterious source of the singing.
It's the innkeeper as he's the glasses and washing them for the evening.
What did the voices say?
I don't know. It was like a snake trying to talk. I didn't understand it.
Rand's full on wide-eyed and like looking more nervous than ever because he's realizing that it's not just him. Something else is going on now. I could swear when we was outside with Braun trying to get him to this big lug to puke, I saw the shadows moving. Something's going on here. I don't like it.
Did one of them try to touch your shoulder?
No one tried to touch my shoulder. There's just something going on. I don't know what's going on.
We got shoulder touching and snake whispering.
All I know is I'm staying in the tavern.
While the other two talk, Braun slumps in his chair, closing his eyes due to the intoxication and the long day. Seemingly, passing out in the chair, almost.
Okay. Braun, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Yeah. 18.
Braun is snoring at the table.
Rand pokes him, but ineffectually, not trying to like really wake him up, and just to see how dead to the world he is.
He's dead? He's out. He is, after all of the drinks and everything, he is out.
Rand looks up at Jet. Another drink?
Yeah, but you're buying it.
All right. And I order 2 more
Mr.
ales.
High roller.
Keep it rolling. Hey, I made a bunch of money at the card table. I'm not worried about it.
So is the intent by both of you to just stay up until the next morning?
That's Rand's intention.
I know that's his. Is that your intention as well, Chad?
Yes.
Okay. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Good luck.
Both are Jet.
Just Jet. You already made yours. You're good.
I
Chilling.
got a 20.
Let's go.
You guys are professional alcoholics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so good at this. I hope you enjoyed our first foray into Floods and Dragons. It should become a weekly thing, and I'm really excited about it. This is our first adventure with a bigger campaign brewing in the future. Special thanks to everyone involved, including Zdardis, Undead Cupcake, OriginalDiceMom, and of course our very patient with a bunch of new players, DM Zdardis. Leave them some love in the comments below, and hopefully we'll see you next week.